Hey guys, it's Frankie-Gruesim-TheYarnZoo, and I just want to do a short tutorial on how to install and use Reshade. So you can get the Reshade 2.0 link from me, just send me an IM on Simply Imaginary People. And you also need to download the DirectX end user runtimes from the Microsoft webpage. Once you've downloaded these, you will get them as a file called DirectX June 2010. All we need to do is run this, press yes, and browse to a folder, preferentially an empty folder, because it's going to be a lot of stuff that it's going to do. So I'm going to use this folder that's already pretty much empty where it's in, and you'll see that it extracts a shit ton of files. What you've got to do is scroll down until you see DX setup and run this. Now you need to press accept and run it through. I've already got Reshade installed, so I'm not going to do that. Right, and then when you download Reshade from me or from whoever, you will see a Reshade folder, and in it you'll have the Reshade assistant. So you're going to right click this assistant and you're going to say properties. You're going to go under compatibility and just make sure run this program as administrator is ticked. Otherwise it won't be allowed to edit your Sims files. So if it's not ticked, tick it, press apply, okay. And now, oops, open the wrong one. And now you can run Reshade. I'm just going to start loading Sims in the background because otherwise it'll take too long. Right. So, a bit backwards, but if you want to uninstall Reshade, you already have these Sims, you just need to press this minus. Oh wait, that kind of doesn't work when I'm running Sims. That was not smart. Obviously, don't try to uninstall it while you're running it. Wait for the game to load so I can kill it. Okay, and again. Right, to uninstall Reshade from Sims, just click all the ones that say Sims 3 and press minus. That's it. You don't need to do anything with the bin folder usually unless it stops working. And just in case it does stop working, before you even install Reshade, please back up your bin folder. Okay, to install Reshade, you press the plus and you navigate to your Sims bin. That's usually found under C, Program Files, either something with Origin or Electronic Arts, the Sims 3 Game bin. And the first thing you're going to add is TS3W application. It's going to come up with this and say D3, D9 is orange. You're just going to press confirm and save. And you'll see it says Sims_3. Sometimes it doesn't say Sims_3. It says Sims 3 starter application. If it does this, you also need to add the one called TS3. And you also need to add this if you're running a laptop with a NVIDIA or any other kind of proper graphics card and not just the base graphics card in game. If you're not sure, just add both of them. It doesn't matter if you add both of them. It's just worse if you only add one. So I'll add the other one. Again, press confirm and save, and you'll see this one's called Sims 3 starter application. Now I can load the game. If you want to edit your Reshade for Sims, you need to double click on the one that says Sims_3, not the other one. And you'll see I've got lots of presets. If I want to make a new preset, I can press plus, add a preset name, and press save. I don't want to do that. Can I get out of here? Cancel. There we go. What's also very useful is to make an empty preset. So I've got one I've just called empty, and you can see it doesn't have any of the shaders ticked. And this is just because this is the preset I can load if I don't want Reshade in on my game. Generally though, you can have as many presets as you want. To switch between presets, you're going to have to open Reshade. Now, if I double click on a preset, you'll see it has shaders ticked. Now, you can tick them and untick them easily. If it's not being an ass again. It doesn't like me loading Sims. And always make sure you press save and confirm. If I want to edit one, make sure it's orange and don't click on the name, because if I click on the name, I untick it. So double click the side of the name. And you'll see there is a lot of options. Now, which option does what, you're just going to have to fiddle around with. And what's important are toggle keys. So there's always, for most of the shaders, there's the option to put in a toggle key. Now you can see here mine says VK_F6. I usually use VK_F5 all the way to VK_F9. Make sure game mode. This means that when I press F6 in game, it'll toggle this shader, which is the blur one, on and off, which is useful. That means I don't have to have this Reshade assistant running if I want to turn the blur off and on. Some of you, it might not work if you press F6, just like it doesn't work if you press F10 in game, it won't hide your UI. That's because you need to hold Fn and press F6 at the same time. So just see which one works for you. Yeah, so just on the general shaders, the ones usually people use for Sims are ambient occlusion, depth of field, which is the background blur, and ambient lighting. Don't know if I have that on this one. And what I like to use is SMAA and FXAA. You can also use, to make the blur work in game, you have to turn off edge smoothing, and SMAA and FXAA, this one, kind of do the edge blurring for you, so it doesn't matter that much that you turned it off in game. Also, I like to use Luma Sharpen. This is kind of like sharpens your game a bit. Doesn't work as well as an HQ mod, but it's kind of a way to make your game look sharper. Double click that. Usually this says 0.65. I turn it up to 3. That just makes it super sharp. That's the highest you can go. Right, so when you want to change a preset, just run your game and I'll load it. If you can see, if I double click a new preset, you'll see some writing here. The writing should always be white or maybe yellow for it to work. Sometimes yellow doesn't matter, you'll see it's changed as well. It shouldn't be red. If it's red, something's not working. Then you can send me a picture of it and I can help you figure out what it is. So yeah, to just change presets, just double click a different one. If you want to share your presets because you want to share them with someone else, then if you go back to where you installed Reshade, you'll see you have a Reshade folder. And in the Reshade folder, you've got a presets folder. And you'll see in here there is a folder for every one of your presets. So if someone sends you a preset, then you need to extract that folder into here. And if you want to share a preset, then you can right-click the preset you want to share, send to zip, and then upload it somewhere. So it's pretty easy to share presets. You don't need to go and take pictures of all of these settings and be like, hey, I use this with this settings. You just need to share that folder. And again, if you want to delete it, just press minus. What it does is if I go to my bin folder, you'll see Reshade adds this d3d9.dll and this Reshade. And that's pretty much the only files it adds, and maybe one more, which is like a log. And to delete, if you press that minus button here, it'll just delete these two. Always a good idea to do a bin backup, as I said. But yeah, it's not that hard to delete them. Right, okay, ignore my wonderful EA family. I just use this save to load quickly. Okay, so let's go into here and let's choose this default one I was working with. You'll see. Now you need to go to your options and you need to turn edge smoothing off. If you don't turn it off, the blur won't work. So press tick. Let Reshade load it again. It should blur the background. Sometimes you need to restart, sometimes you don't. Okay, there you can see my shade is all working now. I've got this background blur, and as I said, I set the shortcut to F6. I'm just going to press F6 on my keyboard, and you can see it just turns it off and on. F8 I put as another one. You can see it also just turns it off and on. And so you can see that this is just how it works. Just make sure to turn off edge smoothing if you want the blur and some of the other shaders to work. So yeah, this is pretty much it to what you need to know about Reshade. I've showed you how to install it, how to edit it, and how to delete it, and how to share your presets. If you have any other issues with this, then just shoot me a message and I can usually try and help you as much as I can. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that then.